Mercy's coming, so you better get ready for your dose of Overwatch news. Halloween is way too early to start talking about Christmas or the gift-giving season, but it may seem unavoidable with the new Battle.net changes that Blizzard has enacted. They've extended social features for things that players have been clamoring for, appearing offline, group text and voice chat, and something that is making Blizzard happy, a way to send each other loot boxes. So, Julien, here's looking to you. With the Overwatch World Cup just over a week away, Blizzard has released the first of a four-part series documenting the road to the finals. This first one focuses on the tournament's group stages, which were held in China, Australia, Poland, and the US. Now, unfortunately, Russia was knocked out in the group of 16, so good luck to the US against South Korea. Now, to the heat of the matter. Blizzard has released a new update for Mercy, which amends her already huge update that she received in mid-September. Her Valkyrie is now not going to reset the cooldown on her Resurrect. Instead, during her ultimate Valkyrie, you get 2 charges of the Resurrect skill. So this means that previously you could do Res, Valkyrie, and then Res immediately again because the cooldown reset. But now, with the 2 charges system, she can resurrect twice instantly, but she doesn't get to resurrect as much as she could previously because the cooldown still is the same. Now, this isn't a huge change, but the overall schematic to how she plays has changed again, and this is kind of reflected in how she's being used in the pro gaming sphere. Now, Mercy has gone from being one of the least used characters in terms of support to one of the most used characters. She had a 95% usage rate at the APAC Premier Tournament, a pro gaming tournament which saw Lucio drop from one of the most used support characters to a 4th tier rank 14% used character. That's huge. And this is because, as pro gamers have stated, Mercy used to be a character that required no aiming skill and really not a lot of tactical skill. She was a one-trick pony that kind of came in and saved and rezzed after hiding in the corner for the majority of the game. Now, with her Valkyrie ability, she's increased strength, speed, and dynamic ability across the battlefield, which means that she's more skill-based, and pro gamers are really enjoying that. Now, here comes the really big debate about casual gaming versus pro gaming. And this is a thing that's been going on across all platforms and across all games. But Blizzard made Overwatch in a way that felt that casual gamers could jump into a few characters. Casual gamers used to be able to pick up Mercy very easily in a role that felt very valuable as a support character and very easy to play. Now, this non-aiming skill base was an easy way for casual gamers to start playing and understand how the roles and everything worked in an Overwatch match. But now, with Mercy even becoming a skill-based player, it'll be much more difficult for casual players to get in, or it might not. But the idea being that casual gamers don't just have a hero that they can log on to and feel comfortable with. The new developer update doesn't focus on character or skill developments, but really on how the community is interacting with each other and harassment. Now, we've seen tons of videos and reports of people being harassed, especially female gamers who have been harassed just based on the fact that they're a woman playing a game, either being called things like just a Mercy main to very negative, rancid, vile things. And this is an important issue to deal with, not just in Overwatch, but in the whole gaming atmosphere. And Blizzard is kind of introducing more ways to report and more feedback on that reporting. So console is finally getting the same reporting system that PC has had for a while. But many have said that PC reporting is kind of useless and there's no reason to even report because nothing happens. So what Blizzard has really enacted is a feedback system notifying players when actions have been taken based on the reports that they have given. Now, this is an important step to reducing toxicity, but we'll see how it plays out in the coming months. It's an important story, but not uplifting, and might not be the way we want to close out this news segment. So, I'll close it out with our favorite story of the week. My favorite story of the week this week is a Overwatch and Pokemon crossover. It is about 5-minute video that was created by iDevil360, and I highly recommend it. Link in the description below. Check it out, it's awesome. Anyway, now to our Overwatch replay.
Thanks, Yvonne, for that news update, and welcome to Overwatch Replay, the show that gives you all the tips and tricks you need to know to become a better Overwatch player. Today we have a competitive match on Nepal where I choose Pharah, and I am sporting this sweet, sweet Pharah costume for the spooky time of Halloween in October. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, I believe we ended up going up against a team that was a little miscoordinated, or uncoordinated, that's the word. And we were clearly much more inclined to work as a team. So, it worked out in our favor. So, as we see our team fill out, we actually end up getting another healer, I believe, instead of the Junkrat. I believe we end up getting a Mercy, which is nice. You definitely want a Mercy, as Yvonne probably went over in the news. Mercy's a pretty damn good character. So we end up getting 2 tanks, which is pretty sweet, and I think the Orisa switches off. I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing her when I was watching this over. But I end up being a pretty key part of the DPS, which is nice for me because I'm trying to become a Pharah main. And Bastion also fills out that role. And of course, I think the Junkrat does indeed switch to Mercy. So this is a pretty solid team. We end up having total air superiority, and D.Va is around to eat up any miscellaneous damage that comes towards these guys while I rain damage from above, and Bastion can sit back, and especially on this level he is pretty particularly good in Village on Nepal, and he sort of sits back and takes care of the rest. So, and Lucio ends up healing a hell of a lot along with Mercy. So let's go ahead and get started. So, no, we end up getting a Roadhog instead of the D.Va, I forgot. He switches back to D.Va the next round. Okay, anyways, so, to start off, I fly into the middle. I don't think this is very advised for higher level play, but because I'm at 1300 around now, I think I'm like 1380 SR. So I'm around 1400, let's round up. And we can sort of see a overview of their team as they sort of come around this way and this way, which I think maybe not. I think maybe coming around this way is a little safer for them, and because they can contest high ground if we decide to push in them this way. Around which we do, we push right onto the point. And so I can immediately see that they have a Reinhardt and a Junkrat, and this is a pretty high priority as well. Ana, which I end up not dealing with as effectively as I wanted to, as you'll see. So I end up getting 2 missed rockets, but a pretty sweet concussion blast. So they clearly did not look up at all. I don't recall taking any damage in that first opening bit, but I get a pretty sweet concussion blast to say goodbye to Reinhardt there. I wanted to get more, but it's quite alright that I didn't. I think they end up getting a Reaper later on, if I'm not mistaken. So as you can see, I think the best place for Pharah to hang out around when contesting this point is probably around these pillars. So, and then again, closer to the side over here. So you want to hang out in this corner and start building up your ult by just launching rockets onto the point, maybe a concussion blast or 2 if you're getting a little feisty, and you can use these pillars right here as support and defense for yourself, or you could do the same on this side and sort of hover around this point, this corner, and you sort of want to peek around, launch a couple rockets, and get some damage to build up your ult. But of course, I'm seeing that I'm not taking any damage at all, so I'm just going to take advantage of this situation and just sort of hover around on the point and make my shots easier for me to hit. So that's what I decided to do. I see that the only person that hit me at all was the Ana, so I decided to take my time, probably the worst decision in your life, exactly what I do, but this is just learning how to play Pharah for me. I end up going against the wall, and again, I should preface, not very good at this game, but I'm trying to get better, so I hope this video helps you out in any way. So it's certainly helping me out to do this video series. So I'm moving across the pillar to try to get here. I think I almost died there, in honesty. And I launch a couple rockets. I should have been able to finish this off. I just need one more rocket. But I missed 2 rockets and she goes to cover, so I see that maybe I should be, instead of wasting all my time against this Ana and not killing her, which is what I do, I should probably help out my team. So I try to replicate, have lightning strike twice and launch a concussion blast to hit the Reinhardt. That's obviously not going to work. I need to be on this side in order to hit him off the point. So I end up just displacing him for a little bit, and I think Lucio ends up getting a sweet kill on the Lucio and the Reinhardt. I know it gave me that kill for the Lucio. I suppose I helped him out. But yeah. Now I'm finishing off this Ana. Took probably 1 or 2 rockets too many. And let me check my cooldown. I guess I just used my rocket jump, so yeah. Probably should have taken the time to aim a little more. Yeah. Okay, this guy is standing out there and just moving back and forth and back and forth, so I should be able to predict that. It's pretty telegraphed, his movement, so I should be able to launch a rocket here when I know he's moving that way, or here when I know he's moving that way. But clearly you see that I'm missing many rockets, and I end up killing him, and I know I hit that rocket, and so I started turning to see what was shooting me, which is clearly the Reaper. FYI, Reaper should never kill Pharah. That should never be a situation that you put yourself in as a Pharah player, and that's exactly what I did. So, hold on, you can't even hear the game. That's a problem. Sorry about that. Alright, well anyways, there we go. So, moving on. I end up getting, I think this soldier was really inexperienced, as you'll see in the next round or two, the next round period. Spoiler alert, we win the next round. But as you can see, he's just he jumps onto the point, crazy, and you can see he's trying to hit this Lucio, which is aiming this way. So I just take my lucky strike here and launch a concussion blast, which has this blast radius and just moves him off to his death. So that sucks for him, and he's sort of just contesting the point, and our team is trickling in, but we're doing fine for some reason. I guess our Bastion's giving us a lot of support, but I don't see him doing that much. Anyways, I try to get the D.Va off the point as well, but of course she's much heavier than Soldier, so she's not going to fly as much. Now the Bastion's hitting that D.Va mech, gets her out of the mech, and which is pretty nice, and we ended up finishing her off, and this is where we sort of take range. We got 3 kills pretty quickly. 1, 2, 3. It was very quick, and that's sort of the cadence that you want to end up killing the enemy team if you're doing fine. You know, if you guys are all on point, which we were in that point. So here I see Junkrat clearly out of place. He's by himself over there. I saw that we took out 3 of their teams, so I'm gonna go contest Junkrat, and there's not much Junkrat can do against Pharah. So I went ahead and did that, and then I see this Ana who is not doing so hot with her aiming, so I'm gonna just launch a couple rocks at her, and I see that she, and I believe I saw someone else go this way. It actually ends up being the Reaper, which is pretty nice for me because I can get out of this situation. I see that I have a 1 cooldown on this, so I should be totally fine to contest this. I also have my ult if I need it. So here would not be a bad idea to ult. It would clearly take out at least the Ana, because Reaper can probably use his, if he's savvy enough and quick on the trigger, he can probably use his Wreath form and get out of that. But I figured that we have the point. I think my team is fine. I don't think these two are too much of a threat at the moment, and also I stand the the possibility of killing myself because they're rather close to me. So I didn't exactly. I mean, that's my, in hindsight, that's my thought process. I can't tell you exactly what my thought process was. I can't really remember at the moment. But I decide to, oh god, there's two of them. I'm gonna launch one rocket and just get the fuck out. And I end up just killing the Reaper, which is nice for me. And then I realized that I was having a lot of trouble with this Ana because she was going that away. So I tried to do exactly what I just did, and I managed to launch her this way, which puts her in our territory where we can deal with her fairly quickly, as I believe I get another shot off and Bastion finishes her off, which is really nice for us. And I get some sweet healing from Mercy, and this D.Va actually makes a smart move. I think most people at this ranking, if they've come in by themselves and they're already here, they're going to try to go onto the point and just hold forward or hold W and just walk onto the point shooting. This D.Va actually realizes that she's going to lose and backs off. Right here, I don't know if this Lucio jumped or if it was from my rocket, but I saw that this Lucio was trying to be cool and riding the wall, so I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? We need to stop this. So I shot a rocket at him. He ends up getting up there. I shoot another one, but I think I was gonna have many troubles taking out a Lucio, even as Pharah. I don't think that he should be a #1 priority at the moment. And I ended up turning back to the point where everyone was coming onto, and we ended up getting pretty much a team wipe. Well, we got 4 people here. That's pretty much the end of their push. So that was pretty sweet. We ended up using Bastion's ult, and Junkrat took care of the other 2, which is really nice. So now we only have to deal with these 2 who came in late or were left behind because their team, got fucked, and we finished both of them off. So yeah, we got rid of their whole team. Pretty nice. So now we're just waiting for them to come back. I think it would have been nice to say reset. These are just things you have to keep in mind. Oh sure, you got a team wipe. That's great, but they're going to be coming back as a full force team. So now you need to assess your situation. You might have lost 1 or 2 characters yourself, so you need to fortify the point. So you need to set up, where's Bastion? Is Bastion in the correct spot, or did he move in order to get a kill? So you need to make sure Bastion's on his ball and on the ball and playing his part and going back to where he was to begin with to set up his turret. Things like that to optimize your game. It's not necessary at this ranking probably, but it's just a good way to, to get get in the mindset really. So we see that Reaper tries to ult Bastion, but Bastion manages to finish him off because he can do quite a bit of damage. I believe that either Lucio saved me there or I boosted away fast enough, so I'm not sure. I managed to get a couple shots on the Ana, but she definitely healed herself. And so now I'm dealing with this. This is a pretty nice spot for Pharah to be, considering there's no one on the point, and the 3 people who could possibly contest the point are right in front of me, and I have a nice archway to just shoot right through and hopefully land a couple shots. So that's what I'm doing. I'm playing conservatively. I know they can't really do too much. And then I see that this Reaper's here, and he's literally just walking into a wall, so I don't really know what's going on. And I figure we're in overtime. We need to stop this push now, so I use my ult. Boom, we win. It's pretty sweet for us, and yeah, let's check out the next round. Also, tell us, it's almost Halloween when this comes out. Halloween is next week. So go ahead and tell us in the comment section below what you're gonna be for Halloween. I hope to do maybe some Halloween themed episodes. We might not be able to though. We'll see. Not of Overwatch. I don't know what we're doing. We're not fun though. So now we have the next round. I sort of decide to survey the situation here, and I believe this is the wrong move. So clearly Soldier is Pharah's #1 threat. We all know this. So he should also be her number one target, because you need to eliminate your threats in order to do damage to the rest of the team. So instead of focusing this Winston, which is what I try to do, I should be focusing this soldier. I could launch 2 rockets on him before he even, because it's 300 SR, before he even lands any shots. And you'll see, I can launch plenty of rockets at him before he even does any damage to me. So, no offense to this guy. Anyways, I'm sure he's just not even shooting me at all. Fine. I'm tracking down this Winston for whatever reason. I guess Winston versus Pharah. Pharah has the advantage for sure. He's a larger target, and she only has to land a couple rockets. But now I finally decide to engage this soldier. I land a couple shots, and I predict his movement pretty well, and I managed to get a full elimination on him, which is nice for me. And then I immediately see that I'm taking a couple damage shots from Reaper, so I decide to do some damage. This was probably the biggest mistake I made all game. So let's assess the situation. Reaper has just gone into here. Great. Let's go ahead and kill him. Nope, that's not gonna happen. If you take a look at this, we've lost our dear Master Roshi's mech. Master Roshi is a god in my mind. I love Dragon Ball Z. But we've also lost Mercy and Lucio, our 2 healers. That's huge. We can no longer sustain this push. This push is over. This is just what you should be thinking about. You lose your 2 healers, you shouldn't be engaging. And what do? I see Jules going in. Jules is a great name, but sorry dude, I'm here to die. So right now they even have a Mercy, so we're totally fucked. And Winston actually ends up finishing me off, so go Winston. I love a good Winston, but who knows? This guy, I could not hit for the life of me, which means I'm a horrible Pharah. But God help me, I will try to be a better one. That's what this series is for. So, coming back onto the point, we end up overtaking the point. I don't know how, but there's no way of knowing. And so we see this Roadhog here. He needs to be taken out. He's by himself. We do a great job of focusing him. And now Reaper coming in by himself. And he gets away. I don't know if you guys can hear, but I definitely just called him out. Incorrectly, of course, but then I correct myself. And so I'm looking around for him, but I realize I'm wasting a lot of time, and I hear Lucio coming up, so I decide to just engage him instead. I end up getting quite a bit of damage on them, and I end up taking out the Lucio, thanks to Mercy's damage boost, of course. So I tried to predict where the Roadhog's going to go, but we end up focusing pretty well. Luckily, our team did a pretty good job, actually, this round, of just identifying threats that are by themselves, isolating threats, and just completely wiping them very quickly. So that's a very good thing to practice if you have a team on Overwatch for yourself. Just identifying the main threats and just dual teaming them or quad teaming them, and I guess in this case I think we had 4 people have damage on him, and that was pretty nice. So Winston trying to do his best jumping around, but he's clearly just gonna die because he didn't even have this guy. This fucking guy. So let's listen to how long he was shooting at me. So I'm shooting at Winston, whatever. Here it comes. I call out Winston, great. Winston, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He emptied an entire clip on me. I should be dead by all means. So this was my mistake. I should have turned around way sooner to finish this threat. He was standing still. I was slowly moving in the air. So maybe PO, you should not play ranked yet. I think PO should switch to quick play until he can figure out his aiming situation down, or just go into practice until he can get his aiming situation down, because I was a very slow target and he was standing still. It's not like he was moving around or anything. And he had all the time in the world. You saw he emptied a clip, reloaded, and continued firing at me. So I just turned around and he's dead. Lucky me. Anyways, I see the Reaper coming in, and I'm trying to help out with the team. Unfortunately, he ends up taking out Mercy and Junkrat, but I make the smart decision this time to get out of the situation. I'm taking a lot of damage, and whatever Bastion's doing, I don't fucking know. But I decided to get this health pack, and here you can see how poor my aim is. A Winston, literally the largest target in the game if he uses his ult, and potentially one of the slowest targets, but he can move very quickly at the same time. I launched like four rockets at him. I didn't hit one. He was basically point blank range as well. And here you go, 4 rockets again, completely missed. Luckily Mercy is helping me out. You get by with a little help from your friends. Am I right? So I see this Pharah doing quite a bit. She lands a rocket on me, so clearly she's trying to finish me off. So I see that as a threat. I'm trying to get away from that. And luckily she's pretty bad too. And then this is just a quick tip that you can do as Pharah. Obviously you probably don't know about this, but you can use your concussion blast to move yourself. As long as you shoot it on a surface that's close enough to you. So I go ahead and do that, and because I realize I'm almost out of the situation. If I can just move a little further away, I'll be fine. And that's clearly what happened. So I end up having my ult here, and I know that they're too disorganized to really focus the Pharah that's standing on the ground right in front of them. So I end up deciding to push them off. And I finally see this Winston, and I really had to finish him. And then this is a great key moment in this play. So I finish out the Winston great. Probably a good ult, actually, in my opinion, because it took out the full health Winston on the point, which Winston loves being in here, because his gun basically, you don't have to aim in this area, and essentially you can do a lot of damage to a lot of people. So I hear Soldier pop off his tac visor, and that's really great for him, except for D.Va's directly in front of him. So D.Va's doing the perfect job, exactly what she's supposed to be doing, putting up defense matrix to completely nullify an ult while we focus it. So what do? I identify the situation, I launch a rocket directly at Soldier, who's standing still. I'm telling you, PO, man, you gotta go back to practice mode. I'm sorry. So I see Junk right here doing some damage to him. I call him out because I know I did not want to engage. I didn't want to cross this way because they're coming out this way. So I wanted to loop back around here where it was safer. I try to play a little more defensively just in general, because if you lose your life, you're useless. So yeah, so anyways, Junkrat doing his damage, Lucio coming in, I completely almost kill myself, and right here I'm sort of just trying to get an angle on the point and help out. And then I see PO again. You're so good at this game, PO. Oh my god. I landed 2 shots on him, but I realized I was taking some damage, so I wanted to get away, but he runs directly onto the point, and now he's dead. And then Junkrat's dead. And then we have to take out this Pharah, who actually, this was pretty funny. So that was this is a key moment where D.Va can destroy Pharah, who's ulting. All you have to do is stand pretty much directly in front of her, and she'll kill herself while she's ulting. So you see that D.Va ended up getting that kill is because she was directly in front of her. Let's see if we can move back just a little bit. Too far, but we'll see it. So you'll see her positioning. That Pharah was making a horrible move by ulting at that point, and here it is. Yeah, so D.Va standing point blank range in front of her, all these explosions are hitting Pharah. So GG Pharah. So that's the end of the game. I'd like to take this point to plug all our extra stuff. So we do a podcast every Monday, Yvonne and I, podcast every single Monday where we talk about everything from video games to politics, and I hope you guys check that out on iTunes and SoundCloud, and also in video form on YouTube. We also do this show every single week on Wednesdays, and we do a Let's Play series where we edit a lot of stuff into our fun video game times on Fridays. So go ahead and check those out on our channel. Go ahead, don't forget to subscribe and like if you like this content, and tell us if you want to send in one of your videos so we can commentate over it and see if we can help you out in any way, or maybe just see what the hell is happening in your life. In your Overwatch life, that is. So, anyways, here we go. Roadhog doing his thing, but I think we just win. We get res and game over, pretty much. Yeah. So, let's go ahead and wait for play of the game. And holy shit is right, man. Am I right? Let's go ahead and commentate the play of the game. Our sick lineup. Of course, Miasma, Bastion, with the play of the game. What was he, just standing still and shooting things? Sounds like a Bastion play of the game to me. He's surveying the point and turns around and completely stops a Reaper ult, which should have finished him off if Reaper was closer. Which, look at that! I had top kills of the game. Huh. Am I getting better, or am I just lucky? Probably just lucky. Anyways, catch you guys next week. Peace out.